In the land of the rising sun, in the midst of the Sengoku period, a man named Oda Nobunaga was born. Nobunaga was known for his piercing eyes that hinted at his relentless spirit. His ambition to unify Japan was clear from a young age, though his methods were often deemed unconventional. It was a time when lords and their samurais ruled the land, constantly clashing in a cycle of alliances and betrayals. The air was filled with tension, every daimyo striving to expand their territories. In this chaotic era, Nobunaga emerged with his innovative approach to warfare and politics. From a young age, Nobunaga showed signs of great leadership. His father, Oda Nobuhide, was a minor daimyo whose only notable asset was Owari, a province known more for its agriculture than its strategic importance. Yet, Nobunaga had a different vision for Owari. He saw it as the first step in his grand plan to unify Japan. When Nobunaga was 15, Nobuhide passed away, leaving the young Nobunaga as the head of the Oda clan. Many doubted his capabilities due to his youth and his perceived wild behavior. However, Nobunaga swiftly proved them wrong. With a small but loyal group of samurais by his side, Nobunaga began expanding his domain. His strategies were unorthodox, his methods ruthless, yet effective. He didn't hesitate to use firearms, a technology largely shunned by the traditional samurai code. His enemies were overwhelmed by the might of his modernized army. As Nobunaga's power grew, so did the number of his enemies. Many daimyos saw him as a threat to the established order. They plotted against him, forming alliances to take him down. But Nobunaga was always one step ahead. He skillfully navigated through the intricate politics of the Sengoku era, forging and breaking alliances as necessary. His vision remained unwavering, a unified Japan under his rule. His victories on the battlefield were swift and decisive, his strategies unparalleled. Yet, his true genius lay in his ability to win without fighting. It was through negotiation and manipulation that Nobunaga managed to secure his position at the top. He was a master of diplomacy, an art form in its own right. He manipulated alliances, turned enemies into friends, and exploited their weaknesses to his advantage. With every passing day, his dream of unifying Japan seemed closer to becoming a reality. One day, a messenger arrived from the Imagawa clan, bearing a proposition for an alliance. The Imagawa were a powerful clan, their domain stretching across Shiruga and Totomi provinces. An alliance would undoubtedly strengthen Nobunaga's position, but he was wary. Nobunaga had heard rumors about Imagawa Yoshimoto, the clan's leader. Yoshimoto was a cunning man, known for his ruthless strategies. Nobunaga suspected the offer of alliance was merely a ruse, a ploy to lower his guard before an attack. Deciding to test Yoshimoto's intentions, Nobunaga sent a messenger of his own with a counteroffer. He proposed a marriage alliance between his sister, Oichi, and Yoshimoto's son, Ujizane. This was a common practice among the daimyos, a way to solidify alliances and ensure mutual trust. Yoshimoto agreed to the proposal, and the marriage was arranged. Oichi left Owari for Shiruga, becoming Ujizane's wife and the bridge between the two clans. However, Nobunaga's suspicions were not unfounded. Months after the wedding, he received news of a massive Imagawa army advancing towards Owari. Yoshimoto had used the alliance as a smokescreen, planning to attack when Nobunaga least expected it. This betrayal would have spelled doom for any other daimyo, but not Nobunaga. He had prepared for this possibility. As the Imagawa army celebrated their impending victory in the night, Nobunaga's forces launched a surprise attack. The Battle of Okazama, as it came to be known, was a decisive victory for Nobunaga. Yoshimoto was killed in the battle, and the Imagawa forces were crushed. The victory significantly boosted Nobunaga's standing among the other daimyos and marked a major step towards his dream of unifying Japan. The aftermath of the Battle of Okazama was a turning point in Nobunaga's path to supremacy. The downfall of the powerful Imagawa clan sent shockwaves throughout Japan. The balance of power had shifted dramatically. Nobunaga, once seen as a minor daimyo with lofty dreams, had now become a major player in the chessboard of power that was the Sengoku period. Meanwhile, Oichi, who had been wedded into the Imagawa clan, found herself in a precarious situation. With the death of Yoshimoto, the Imagawa clan was plunged into chaos. Oichi returned to Owari, to her brother's welcoming arms. While Oichi's marriage to Yujizane was a political move, Nobunaga was genuinely relieved to have his sister back. There was a bond between them that went beyond politics and strategy. Despite the turmoil and uncertainty, they found comfort in each other's company. In the wake of his victory, Nobunaga set his sights on the neighboring province of Mino. Mino was ruled by the Sato clan, but their leader, Sato Dosen, had passed away, and the province was in the grip of a bitter succession dispute between Dosen's son, Yoshitatsu, and his grandson, Tetsuoki. Nobunaga saw an opportunity in this internal strife. He proposed an alliance with the younger Tetsuoki, promising to support him in his claim to leadership. Tetsuoki, inexperienced and desperate, readily accepted Nobunaga's offer. Nobunaga dispatched his forces to Mino. Under the guise of supporting Tetsuoki, he slowly started exerting his influence over the province. The young and inexperienced Tetsuoki was no match for Nobunaga's strategic brilliance. In a series of clever maneuvers and political manipulations, Nobunaga managed to take control of Mino without a significant battle. Tetsuoki, feeling betrayed and powerless, was forced to retreat. Mino fell under Nobunaga's control, further solidifying his growing power. Nobunaga's rule over Mino marked another significant stride in his journey towards unifying Japan. He was not a tyrant, but a reformer at heart. His innovative ideas and policies brought prosperity to Mino, earning him the respect and loyalty of the locals. However, Nobunaga's rise to power did not go unnoticed. Takeda Shingen, the daimyo of Kai Province, viewed Nobunaga as a potential threat. Shingen was a seasoned warrior, feared and respected by many. His cavalry was renowned throughout Japan, and his strategic acumen was second to none. Shingen sent a diplomatic envoy to Nobunaga, offering an alliance. Nobunaga, however, was not easily swayed. He was aware of Shingen's military prowess and his reputation for ruthlessness. An alliance with the Takeda could prove advantageous, but Nobunaga had learned from his previous experience with the Imagawa. Thus, he declined Shingen's proposal. This rejection did not sit well with the proud daimyo of Kai. Insulted, Shingen decided to launch an attack against Nobunaga. The news of Shingen's impending attack reached Nobunaga, but he remained unfazed. His confidence stemmed not from arrogance, but from his faith in his strategies and his people. He prepared his troops for the looming conflict, vowing to protect Mino and Owari at all costs. The Battle of Mikatagahara was fierce. Shingen's cavalry charged with a force that could shake the heavens, but Nobunaga's troops held their ground. His innovative use of firearms and his strategic positioning of troops managed to hold off Shingen's forces. Despite being outnumbered, Nobunaga's troops fought valiantly. The battle ended in a stalemate, with both sides suffering heavy losses. Shingen, realizing that the cost of continuing the battle would be too high, retreated. Nobunaga's defense against the feared Takeda cavalry further boosted his reputation. His dream of unifying Japan was slowly turning into a reality.